Welcome to another episode of the Palace Huddle Podcast. Here are your hosts, Rob Schwartz and Justin Onayemi, two Bears fans who decided talking into a microphone was better than shouting at their television.
All right, well, this will be interesting, but welcome into the first of the Palace Huddle Shorts Fields-focused podcasts. All right, this is basically the same as the All-22 versions that I've been putting out, but this is going to be specifically focused on Justin Fields. I will be putting one out each week, therefore we can get a little bit of a comparison of how he's been progressing or maybe regressing throughout the season. Had a very good game, probably his best game. And again, I haven't been doing these breakdowns the whole year, but probably his best game of the season last week against the Vikings. This is also an interesting podcast, by the way. As you can see, I'm podcasting from work. I was going to try to record this morning, and some miscommunication between my wife and I did not get up in time. So I had to rush to make my train, and instead I am now podcasting in what we call the quiet room at my office. Anyway, so getting back to Justin Fields, again, good game. I loved what I saw. The stats aren't everything. Let's real quick, and I'm going to have to look down because I don't have the ability to use the tools that I have at home. But so for the game, Justin Fields finished 15 for 21. That was a 71.4% completion percentage, which is well above where I'd like to see my quarterbacks. Again, I've made it very clear, if you're under 60%, that's just not good enough. I would love to see Justin Fields be consistently in the 62 to 65% range, but 71.4%, I can't complain with that. Only finished with 208 yards. Now, he did have a couple pass interference calls go his way, or the receiver's way. Had those been completed, probably would have been closer to about 250. Finished with one touchdown, no interceptions, and a QB rating of 118.7. So, again, great day. Wasn't, 300-400 yards passing like we might see from like a Justin Herbert. But this is progress. It's a step in the right direction, and we saw some significant changes here with the offensive play calling, because they let Justin Fields throw the ball downfield even more in this game than they had in the past. Justin Fields also added 8 rushes for 47 yards. That would have been closer to 100. Actually, would have been 99 had his scramble for a touchdown not been called back due to a block in the back. That wasn't really much of a block in the back, by the way. It was a little weak of a call. The DB did a good job selling it with his little flop and his hands going up. The problem is that you just can't let those things happen. You got to be clean. And we've talked enough about Amir Smith-Marset on the breakdown podcast, the recap podcast with Justin and I. I'm not going to bash him anymore here, but he's just got to do better. All right, so one thing I did not know is that the lights go out in here. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so a little blackout situation going on. I think I'm going to have to change my seating so that I can, I thought maybe it'd be motioned, but we're going to sit a little bit closer to the door here. All right, so when I graded Justin Fields, I did it very similar to how I did the last one that I did on Kyler Gordon. I did double positives, neutral plays, negatives, and double negatives. The good thing here is Justin Fields did not have any double negative plays, in my opinion. I think that's definitely a great thing. Some people might want to put the snap fumble on him on the stat sheet. It goes his way. I did not count that. That's definitely on Sam Mustipher. That guy's got to go. I'm sorry, but this is just happening way too often. We're going to start with the negative plays first. and then get to the positive plays. I'm not going to go over every single one here, but just want to touch on a couple of them, right? So the big one was the miss to Darnell Mooney. Ended up being a field goal to give the Bears 3 points. Basically, Fields just needs to put more air on that ball. Gives Mooney an opportunity to get back underneath it and make the catch. It's just a miss. He missed it. There's a little bit of pressure coming on the blind side there that he probably felt being pushed back by on Braxton Jones, but it wasn't much. It wasn't enough. He should have held strong and waited and, again, put a little bit more air under it. The good thing is he gets that back later, by the way, on the exact same route. So the other two that I wanted to mention, there was a play later in the game, pretty late in the game. There was a shotgun play, split backs, fake the draw handoff, and then he rolls out right. Speaking of Amir Smith-Marset, he actually had ISM on what was a decent looking wheel route. Decides to run though instead, picks up 5 yards. I marked it as a negative play just because he missed the bigger play, but again, still gained 5 yards. Not a horrible situation here. Later in the game, again, red zone opportunity at the 11-yard line. It was second down. And he could have thrown a dart to ESB coming across into the back of the end zone in between the two linebackers. Would have been a tough throw, but he's got the arm and the ability to put that ball there. But he hesitated. Again, decided to scramble as the pressure broke down and went to go to throw to Amir Smith-Marset on what was basically a scramble route to the corner and got the ball knocked down right in front of his face, just batted down. Again, these are nitpicking things, nothing horrible here. And in fact, this was the play prior to the touchdown by Velus Jones. So it really didn't make much of a difference in the game. Let's go to the positive plays. Definitely more positive plays than negative plays. All right. The first one that we'll talk about, there was a fake pitch bootleg. Then he rolls out to the other way and the bootleg to the right side. Squares up his hips. Nice. Great mechanics. Deep ball to Mooney. That was one that drew a pass interference. Again, it doesn't end up in the stat sheet, but puts them downfield. Great play, great throw, great decision making. What about the Dante Pettis throw, right? He had Dante Pettis on a 15-yard stop route. He comes back, sits right in between the zone coverage. Fields reads it perfectly. Throw looks like it might have been a little bit high, but it was more Dante Pettis jumping in a weird way and mistiming his jump. So there was a drop there that shouldn't have been. Again, more stats that Justin Fields is missing out on that he shouldn't be. Dante Pettis now 3 drops in a row, by the way. This guy's got to be benched. Velus Jones should be getting these opportunities. He only saw 3 snaps in this game, and Dante Pettis saw 60% of the offensive snaps. This has got to change. Velus needs these opportunities as Pettis keeps making these drops. Let's see. Fields. Another one was Fields was in shotgun. He comes off of his first and second read. First read was to Dante Pettis. Second read was to Darnell Mooney. He finds Equanimous St. Brown on what was a really nice post that was cut off on a quick out route. So it was designed as a basically a 2-route type situation where he looks like he's running the post. Looks like he's running the post, but then cuts it quick right to the outside. Fields hits him. Great throw, 20-yard gain. Let's see another one. There was a great read by Fields on a throw to Komet just down the seam. Komet just gets right in between the coverage there, right past the defensive end who was on him. Just definitely a mismatch. It looked like, if I remember correctly, it was Daniel Hunter. Definitely a mismatch. Throws it right over the defensive end. Komet makes the catch, gains another 8 yards after the catch. Everyone keeps giving Komet a hard time, but when he gets the ball in his hands, that guy's a wrecking ball. He just does not go down. In his first year, I remember he had some issues with fumbles because of that, but he's done a really good job protecting the ball as he continues to fight for extra yards. The next one that he had, there was a protection breakdown. Tight end gets pushed back. That they missed the defender. There was definitely a pre-snap coverage issue with their pass blocking there. You had two guys blocking one guy, and then a defender comes free. Justin Fields feels it, does this quick, awesome backside spin, rolls out to the left, ends up gaining 10 yards on the play. It's fantastic. So those are the positive plays. Then I had him down for 2 double positive plays, okay, which obviously grade him out higher than just the positives. These are like elite type plays. And one of them, Darnell Mooney gets a lot of credit for, but this is what I was mentioning. He comes back to the exact same route, does the right throw, gets the right touch on the ball, the right amount of air, puts it where only Mooney can get it, and Mooney helps him out with this amazing, amazing one-handed catch. Probably, I was saying it on the podcast, who's George Pickens, who's Odell Beckham, Darnell Mooney, probably one of the best catches of the year. It wasn't quite as good as the George Pickens ones earlier, but it was pretty darn close. And it was, again, the same route, fantastic throw, fantastic read. These are the connections that we were hoping to see earlier in the year, and we're starting to see them now over the last 2 weeks. The other one, it didn't even count, but I still gave him credit for it. There was a screen that broke down. Justin Fields recognized it. Nice little scramble. 52-yard touchdown run, right? Called back because of that ISM block in the back, a little bit weak, but hey, you got to be clean. But again, Justin Fields, I gave him a double positive on that play. All right, so that's pretty much it. What I want to try to do is get a little bit better here with the software and try to get it to the point where I can start showing these things. I need to get a recording software so I can start doing it and doing like slow motion and put some stuff in there for you. But I'm trying to keep these 15-20 minutes. I don't want this to be like some in-depth, deep breakdown where you guys have to listen to me go on and on and on for over an hour and talk to nobody but myself. So again, this is just where we're at. But as we continue to build and grow this podcast, I'm hoping you guys stay along with the ride, support it. Definitely leave some comments. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe button, whether you're listening just to as a podcast or you're viewing on YouTube. And I'm just going to leave it with this. So the breakdown that I had here was 2 double positive plays for Justin Fields, 16 positive plays for Justin Fields. 31% of his plays were positive. If you want to combine the double positive, that means 35% of his plays were positive. Only had 6 negative plays, and again, some of those were really nitpicky, but I want to be as crucial and objective and hard on him as I can, because I think he can be elite, and I want him to be elite. That was about 12% of his plays would be negative. The rest of them were neutral, handoffs or throws that every quarterback should be able to make. I didn't really give him anything higher than that. With my grading system, I had him graded out with a 74. Now, anything over 80 for me would be considered elite. Anything within that 70 to 80 or 70 to 79 range would be very, very good, right? Would be above average, very good. Anything in that 60 to 69 range would come out as just an average player for the game. That was the Kyler Gordon. I think if I remember correctly, I had him graded as a 67. Just an average player, starter, fringe starter. Anything under 60 and not quite to 50. So like that, basically, yeah, anything under 60 to me is going to be below average. And then anything under 50, this light situation is really pissing me off. Anything under 50 then would be just really bad. Shouldn't even be playing the game. Backup at best. So, all right, that should do it for this one. It was really short, and it's partly because I just don't have the ability to do the things that I normally do when I'm podcasting at home. Had to put this one out there, though. I didn't want it to not get out. And with the game being tomorrow, I didn't want to wait one more day. So, Justin Fields, again, great game. Progress has been fantastic. I'm really looking forward to see where he goes from here. Has a really good matchup against Washington tomorrow night. And if he can continue to show the progress that we've seen over the last 2 games. His progress from week 4 to week 5 was fantastic. He's looking more poised. He's more comfortable. He's staying in the pocket a lot more. He's already making progress on himself reading the protections and making the line calls because the line isn't doing it. It's definitely a step in the right direction, and we have to understand that he's played 15 games. Okay, 15, just not even a full season yet, and he's now in a new system with not a lot of top tier talent around him. This is going to be he has the opportunity of showing us the tools. He's going to be better than what most people have come out to think when they call him Bustin' Fields. He is not going to be a bust. I see way too many good things here. He may never hit that elite ceiling, but he's definitely going to be the franchise quarterback I think this team has needed for many years. I think he's going to end up being just as good, if not better. I mean, I think he's going to be better, but at the very least, he'll be just as good as Jay Cutler. So, all right, that's it. And hope you enjoyed this new Fields-focused All-22 breakdown. House Huddle, short podcast, and I look forward to continuing to do these going forward over the week. Since the game is tomorrow, I will not be able to get an All-22 breakdown of a voted on player, so we'll just roll that over into the next week. These short weeks are just way too difficult with the All-22 just coming out yesterday afternoon. If you have any questions or comments, again, put them out there. Hit me up on Twitter, ShyRuxinBGO. Follow the House Huddle podcast account on Twitter. Hit the subscribe button. I want feedback. I'd love to get the feedback from you guys so that we can continue to grow and make this an even better podcast. I know Justin and I are really enjoying it. So enjoy the rest of your week. Let's see the Bears win tomorrow night and bear down.